Good morning, everyone. Learn previous class. Look at this: accommodation, conflict, competition, cooperation. These all the social processes are over. Mainly we had been learned about the conflict management, how to manage the conflict in everyday life to promote happier days. Yes, assimilation. Today started with assimilation. The word, this prefix and suffix, assimilation, meaning absorb people, ideas into your society or culture. Definition: assimilation is the social process whereby individuals or groups come to share the same sentiments and goals. Keywords is a social process. Share the same sentiments and goals. Look at this: sharing, goals, sentiment to maintain similarities. One of the classic example is that in a new environment, for example, orientation program, for example, when you join in a college, first day what will you do? When join in a new college, first day organizing orientation program. The aim of orientation program is that promote assimilation. So in the time of speak with socialize with each other and share their knowledge regarding new environment and understanding about norms and goals of the new settings, etc. It's a process tried to maintain similarity. Look at this stage and process of assimilation. It is a slow process. Quite sometimes before individual dissimilar becomes similar. Look at this. Dissimilar becomes similar. One of the example given here: immigrants in America or Europe begin to wear the European or American style of cloth as soon as they land on shore. So clear about what is meant by assimilation? Assimilation. Try to maintain similarity of people with the new environment doing this process. Next, factors determining assimilation. Students, the assimilation is an important process or a social process which is enhancing the association between members of groups or society. The McCleaver lists the following factors hindrance, and aids to assimilation. First factor is that development of society. Favorable development, for example, some people like or environmentally friendly, sustainable development can promote assimilation. Unsustainable development may happen declining, which means hindrance or resistance to assimilation. Second one, occupational skills. Occupation means job. If we have good skill on our job, we can easily assimilate with each other. It means share the knowledge with others. But lack of assimilation, occupational skill, which may cause hindrance or resistance to assimilation. AIDS means support to assimilation, okay? Third one, numbers involved. Number of members involved in a particular group. Small number of groups can easy to assimilate, but large number in the group may hindrance to assimilation. Then physical differences. Physical infrastructure. Similarity of physical setting can easy to assimilate or aid to assimilate. But dissimilarity of physical differences, physical setting may cause hindrance to assimilation. Then cultural differences, as we know that. Different mode of behavior. Similarity of behavior or similarity of culture can easy to assimilate and aid to assimilate. But dissimilarity or differences may cause to hindrance to assimilation. Sixth one, semi-community. Semi-community means small groups. The assimilation, the whole society concern assimilation between small groups and large groups. Seventh one, adjust to new conditions. More adjustment aid to assimilation, lack of adjustment hindrance to assimilation. Next, difference between assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation is permanent, but accommodation is non-permanent. Reason why? Every day we have been assimilate with each other in according to new environment. But the accommodation only in the time of conflict, after the conflict. After the conflict, the time of conflict resolution, only we can see the accommodation process. Second, assimilation is a slow process, but accommodation is sudden, immediately after the conflict. Third one, assimilation is unconscious. We have unawarely share our experience, share knowledge, just like when we interact with others and try to maintain similarity of new social setting. Third one, deliberate. Accommodation is deliberate, is a planned one, plan to solve the conflict. Next social process, integration. What do you think about integration? This is a term used in differently. In management, people use that term is that coordination. Coordinate every sections of the people. Meaning, process of make someone accepted with a group, social groups. Look at this integration. Definition: strain towards consistency, called integrating process. Consistency means permanency of relationship. Look at this. Integrate and coordinate each personnel in the organizations. Problems of integration. In macro sociology concern, the following problems. Complexity of society. Modern society become complex due to modern technology. Computerization, mechanization, industrialization, which leads to problem for integration. Second, cultural heterogeneity. Hetero means more than one. Every people, every sections of population having different culture, which leads to problems for integration. Third one, rapidity of social change. Rapidity means speed, unexpected changes or unpredictable change. In other words, undesirable changes cause to make problem for integration. Fourth one, tendency of persistency. Means rigidity. No man do not like change. Is a psychological tendency to permanent. So this tendency may lead to make problems for integration. Next, modes of integration. First mode, government coordination. For example, Government of India coordinate every states and district through legislations. Then individual behavior. Every individual tried to integrate and maintain peace, and behave to coordinate and integrate to maintain peace and achieve their individual goals. Third one, organization. Organization mainly concerning organizational studies. Integration between the department, for example, hospital as a organization, a social organization. Coordinate every department, for example, medical, surgical, coordinate with pediatrics and maternal health, mental health, as well as child health. So every department should be coordinate, as well as coordinate with other sections, including allied health. So which is concerning organizational integration. Which means the integration in particular institution or organization. Next section or next social process, isolation. Students, isolation is a word we have been seeing or hearing now, very famous word, isolation, to control the pandemic like COVID-19. So this is an important social process exists in our society. What does it mean by isolation? Lack of contact between persons, groups, all societies. Keyword, lack of contact. Definition, failure of an individual maintain contact. Genuine communication. Communication is there, but few communication. Interaction with others persists. So this is different types of isolation. This physical isolation, the isolation due to water. Then types of isolation. Physical means due to physical factors. Water or landscape. Look at this one of the isolation. A particular land isolated from other parts of the world due to water. So this land may be called as island, Iceland or island. So which is physical isolation. Then logistical isolation. So logistical isolation only we have been experiencing now to prevent, to cut off this chain of break down the chain of the disease spread. Example, quarantine, logistical isolation. Then linguistic isolation. We are Tamil. When go to Delhi, New Delhi, don't know about the Hindi, what will happen? We are separated from that people due to language. So which is linguistic isolation due to language factors. Then social isolation means due to social factors including cultural and institutional factors which leads to social isolation. For example, social disability due to caste system, you know, as well as other types of isolation. Next, we are going to detail about social process in rehabilitation setting. Students, we are nursing professionals, should be apply this sociological concept to nursing. We are professionals directly involved rehabilitation for physical rehabilitation, restore from the physical illness, psychological rehabilitation from the mental illness, then social rehabilitation. Mainly in social community setting, we can do it to rehabilitate people from distractions. Fourth one, vocational rehabilitation. Vocational means skill development. For example, if a patient comes into hospital with diseases, unable to speak, unable to walk, all skills are destroyed or away from due to disease. The nursing professional actively involved to rehabilitate the client or patients by means of using various nursing services. Look at this rehabilitation. So every types of rehabilitation setting, we should be apply the knowledge of social process. Look at this. In hospital, cooperation in hospital, competition, conflict, accommodation, assimilation, integration or coordination, and isolation in hospital. Some detail about the role of cooperation in hospital. First role, care. For better care given to patients, every healthcare professional should be cooperate, work together to client-oriented care. Second, good communication. Which means promote therapeutic communication. Now, when we talk with other patients and should be conceptualized regarding cooperation, conflict. So this knowledge help to promote therapeutic communication. Third one, enhance therapeutic effect, healing effect. For example, if a patient comes into the hospital, we need to test, we need to identify this particular disease due to which type of social process, or mainly mental illness or stress. So that time we need to use to guide how to promote cooperation. This individual clinical aspect. As well as in hospital, all hospital concern, the very healthcare professionals work together, cooperate with each other to promote therapeutic facilities. Fourth one, to heighten job satisfaction. Students in the hospitals, many of them dissatisfied due to lack of cooperation. That's why in every hospital organize various programs to promote cooperation between the healthcare professionals. Fifth one, to spontaneous interaction. Spontaneous means free. There is no restrictions. We can interact with everyone. In particular, unit of hospital, with doctors, nurses, or allied health professionals share their experiences and work together and spontaneously. Sixth one, stress management. Maximum of stress due to lack of cooperation. In family level, lack of cooperation between husband, wife, and other family members, as well as workplace. So stress management cooperation is doing wonderful role in the hospital. Seventh one, to healthcare team building. In the healthcare team, doctors, nurses, and allied health professionals work together to attain the goal. Eighth one, chronic disease management, which is very important one. The chronic disease management, the patient should be cooperate with healthcare professionals. The drugs never cure the disease. The chronic illness, mainly blood pressure, diabetes, need to client-oriented care and management strategies, disease management strategies. The cooperation doing wonderful role in the hospitals. Then role of competition in hospital. Is competition is available in hospital? Sahaya Jennifer. Sahaya Jennifer. Blessy M. Jefflin Shaija.
Yes, sir.
Is competition available in hospital? Yes or no question?
Yes, sir.
Between what are the people? Which professionals?
Among the healthcare profession.
Is excellent. Among the healthcare professionals. Thank you, Jefflin Shaija. Yes, promote competitiveness among healthcare professionals. So every professional should be combat with each other regarding their knowledge, regarding their skills. The World Health Organization said the competitiveness of healthcare professionals should be combat, which promote caregiving style and as well as promote well-being in hospital setting. Second one, professionalism. Second one, care. Okay. Promote efficiency of care. Healthcare professionals should be combat with each other to provide efficient healthcare services. Third one, effectiveness of treatment. Competition is one of the medicine can enrich the individual life as well as enrich mind and body to cure the various diseases. Fourth one, increase responsibility. Healthcare professionals combat with each other to identify their own responsibilities, role and responsibilities to attain the goal. Look at this. Healthcare professionals combat with each other, share their ideas, and competitively learn with each other. Then role of conflict in hospital. First, strengthen in practice. Confidence practice. Already we had been learned, bell curve. The conflict is part of life, mainly in work life, in hospitals. Small conflict or healthy conflict help us to promote confidence among the healthcare professionals to deliver the efficient healthcare services. Next, promote health. And team spirit, among, for example, particular unit of hospital, combat with other units, which promote team spirit and provide better healthcare service. Next, participation, group participation. Through conflict, every members can allot regarding their responsibilities, and every members actively participate in particular group in the hospital and efficiently provide these services. Next, understand values of hospital services. Through conflict, we can identify individual values. Mainly, we are nursing professional, identify our nursing values in the hospital. Conflict between doctors and nurses. Conflict between management and nursing professionals, which help to identify the values and show our values to the society and other professionals to provide confidence and efficient service. Then work out group relationship. Within the group, we can promote positive relationship through conflict, healthy conflict, okay, to clear out relative status. Through conflict, we can identify the status of individuals, self, and relatively the higher and lower status of healthcare professionals. Then conflict may lead to harmonious relationship. Can solve the problems in the hospital and promote good relationship between healthcare professionals. Then define issues. Through conflict only we can identify what is the reality of issues. Then we can resolve it. Resolution to problems in the hospital. Then increase and healthcare team attentiveness. Already we have discussed. Every members can more attend and concentration towards our job and responsibilities. Look at this. Then role of accommodation in hospital. First role, prevent conflict. Second, ensure communication. After the conflict, maybe some communication may be breakdown. We know that. But accommodation is a process help to reorganizing the communication, rearranging the communication more efficiently among healthcare professionals. Then use conflict resolution strategy or methods. Promote healthcare team performance. Then resolution of conflict. Already we had been learned different methods used to solve the conflict is a process of accommodation. What are the methods? First, tolerance. We are nursing professionals, need more toleration. Then conciliation, third person involved. For example, already I was given one illustration, the conflict between supervisory nurse and subordinate nurse. The nursing superintendent will come and solve the problem. Then conversion, change the ideas. Then rationalization, reasonably, according to reason and evidence used to solve the problems and conflict. Then arbitration, use legislations. Then subordination and subordination. Next, compromise. Students, these are all the methods used to manage the conflict in the hospitals. So, which is name as accommodation. So, this concept very much used in management, hospital management, and mainly nursing administration and management in 4th year. Next, improved care and treatment. Look at this. Then role of assimilation in hospital. Share knowledge. Provide constructive feedback to colleagues. Then increase socialization. Improvise communication among healthcare professionals. Then diagnosis. Perfect assessment and diagnosis. A diagnose, which means this to identify the causes of diseases. Not only one person, every person should be involved to identify the cause. For example, laboratory, pathological test, imaging technology in hospitals, MRI, CT, and try to diagnosis, radio diagnosis. Then nurses mainly diagnosis, the nursing diagnosis by means of identifying this client need, their social and psychological needs, and provide efficient healthcare services through assimilation process. Next role, care and treatment, better client-oriented care and treatment. Then promote job satisfaction and performance. Next, prevent stress in the hospitals. Stress, which means when we have share our experiences regarding the diseases and client, which help to reduce the stress and harmonious relationship. Then support to job satisfaction, happier work life in the hospital. Then isolation in hospital will be next day. So what we had learned today? Assimilation, integration, isolation, then social process in rehabilitation setting. Define isolation.
Failure of an individual.
Yes. Failure to contact, okay? Look at this. An individual to maintain contact. Next keyword, genuine communication. Okay, bless you. Good answer. Thank you for your answer. Okay. So students, this is knowledge, okay? Then you can use this knowledge and create yourself. In the examination, everyone should be explain about, use your own words, learn to make sentences, okay? Small sentence and explain about each knowledge. So, do you have any clarifications, any things? So, what we have learned today, highlights of today. Today's highlights. Assimilation. We have been share knowledge, experiences to maintain similarities in the group or new environment. I was given one of the example, when we travel to abroad, immediately after we have to change the code of dressing, food habits to maintain these similarities. So which is called assimilation process. Next, integration. Integration, other words, coordination. Mainly coordination in this macro sociology concern, coordinate between every sections of the populations or integrate every sections of the populations. In organizational aspect, integrate or coordinate every departments. Then isolation, genuine communication. Types mainly logistical isolation, quarantine, limited contact with other people. And detail about isolation in hospital we will be learn next class, okay? That time you will be more aware about it. The reason is that every hospital having separate ward available, isolated ward. So this process is more essential to know about how to we improve the care giving in isolation areas, and what are the effects of isolation will be learned next class. Then social process in rehabilitation setting. Students, every types of social process available in hospitals. So this is a measurement, when you go to hospital, should be watched. These all the processes are available in hospital or not. Okay? When you enter in the ward, every people having cooperate with each other or not. Or anybody having conflict between them. What are the competitive between them? For example, supervisory nurse, subordinate nurse, compete with each other. Doctors and nurses compete, share regarding their knowledge, regarding their skills, competitiveness. Then conflict is available in hospital. Just watch, measure it. Which type of conflict? Whether moderate level of conflict or severe conflict. We know that how to manage the conflict. So these all the thinking help us enjoy the work life in the hospitals. Okay, students, when you go to hospitals, as in the time of posting or after the time of professional life, just experiment or examine yourself. That thinking help us to enjoy work life as well as study life. Okay, students, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day. Wonderful day. Enjoy the day.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes. See you no more.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Daya. Agalya.
Thank you, sir.